Yeah,
Okay,
so here you
round
confirm
4.
your limit break, yes. The fist bump. Oh, I
And
think
I've
I
swapped
missed the
sides
die
for this
roll.
match. This match went on forever, and it was so back and forth. It's a real demonstration of how GigaWol can, while it is aggro, it can hold its own into a long game.
Well, yeah,
if it
that's
needs
because
to.
of your second engine that you have to put in, like the backup plan.
I think I'm going to have to explain a large number of weird moves this time around. So I had an incredibly awful start hand, and my choice was to play Morg or play Leo.
Oh my god, an opponent draw 2 armor, so he's ready against your wall.
Yeah. He knows I'm playing GigaWol by this point. The information throughout the day is filtered down. I'm fully aware that he's playing 4-color wall by now. Him discarding an Amaterasu instantly told me that he had another one in hand.
Well, yes. Or it would be a very good bluff.
And I happily discarded my Morg to stop that Claris. Luckily.
Yeah, and he was like, I want to use Invisible Morg. And there it's already the first wall.
Which I'm pretty sure by my memory, I've not watched this video back, so by my memory I'm going to play this to try and force the Amaterasu out, because he's played an Earth backup. If he plays another backup now on curve, he's going to have no up backups. It will cost him rather heavily to stop my wall from going off, and that might just be a good enough trade-off, was what I was thinking at the time. He had the Shantato in hand that early.
But also depends on his limit break, like if he also has a Shantato over there and you overextend early in the game, there's other board wipes at the moment. But yeah, I think he's really careful knowing next turn is gonna be wall on the field. And checking what he can keep.
So the Tyvas was actually rather a surprising move, but also not really. He had to put something out that wasn't... that could stop
Tyvas is surprising,
the wall coming down.
but also Asura is surprising to see.
Remember that there was a reason for it, but I can't remember what he told me at the time. The Furion here is an odd choice.
I think he just wanted his fire CP and a card that he... Oh no.
Oh, you wanted the water CP.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's coming down now. After him playing all that. And yeah, I really did have to discard a 4-color wall, but I had 2 in hand at the time, so I've got another one there. And look at how disgusting that top was. I had no choice but to bring Raffia and Alpha Node out. But even my Terranova was bad.
You're getting ready for your backup plan?
Oh yeah, I knew straight away once the turnover was Raffia and Alpha Node, which gave me no plan from the next turn on. They had no effects bar that. I had to come out with something else. I had to be ready to keep going, so the Tyvas was the next step. I was hoping for another Zeramus like I'd seen for the rest of the day, you know.
4-color wall with very interesting backups.
It threw me for a loop. It was definitely not the kind of build you would expect to see.
Exactly.
So I knew it was 4-color wall, but it was coming at me from such an unusual angle. I wasn't sure how to approach it anymore, or what was coming, or what I was expecting to see next. The only thing I had in my mind was try to avoid the Shantotto if possible, or hurt him enough before the Shantotto got involved.
Well, the thing is, you cannot play your Tefas because that would just invite his Shantotto.
That's it. You're very right. So I did what anyone else would do, as I decided to instead start building my backup line a bit.
Expensive, but you got it.
I didn't want to discard the other cards in hand, which of course would have been the Tyvas. I think that was the only thing that I had to discard everything else but Tyvas to get that down. And then Refia's activation at the beginning of turn. Attack phase, not the beginning of turn. Oh, that was the worst thing that could have happened.
Oh my god.
Yep, he got it. He got the best card against GigaWol as an X-Burst right off the bat.
But to be fair, it's 4-color wall, they run them.
I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting it as the X-Burst to go in with. So that Shantotto has sat in his hand, has been in there since then. And I know it's coming at some point, it's just, I can't really be held on to it that long.
Hey, but that also takes a lot of patience to wait for it.
That's it. This is where the Furion does come out in the end. 5 characters gives him the haste.
And draw a card, very important.
And I did not want to sit and play with that Furion. It was always going to boost over my cards, so there was no point.
But do I see correctly that he's playing a Reagan?
Yes, he's playing Reagan. He doesn't get it out on this game, though.
Yeah, because I see it in his hand, so it was kind of confusing.
I remember him telling me that he blocks it. The Reagan blocked his hand a little bit.
Yeah, I think the choice is quite obvious.
So I just lost one to the damage zone, I just lost one out of my hand.
You draw a card.
So I knew the 7 wall was not really going to be something I could use anymore this game.
And then we have to see which Tefas is gonna last the longest.
The fact that the 7 wall was put in damage and then removed from game, and I just drew Gilgamesh, really kind of upset me a little bit. Because it was just super unfortunate. Of course, this time, finally, I went for the Axstar.
And you have the follow-up piece.
Finally, I have the follow-up piece.
Oh, those are 2-drops, right? That's gonna do some damage.
So that's gonna ping for 1,000 to his board and my board, and then 2 times the 3k, which is gonna get rid of that Zidane. We don't want that to cause more havoc. And then the further follow-up shot from Agstar, which shot for 12,000 at that point.
Yep.
This man's X-Burst power was crazy. Just in that top 5 was also another 4 X-Bursts on top, you know?
Well, to be fair, 4-color wall, I think
It's
at least
very
20
X-Burst
cards
heavy.
are X-Burst. Like, even on his field is already 4 cards, 3 of them are X-Burst.
That's right. So at this point, you know what I'm asking for. He's definitely going to Shantot me here.
Well, yeah. Especially knowing you only have 1 card hand.
Which is true, but we do play a little bit top decky for a little bit now. But I drew probably the perfect card I could have asked for. But I couldn't really use it yet. So that would be FF8's Irvine was pulled into my hand.
But you top deck into Serumus.
But I top deck into a Zeramus, and I definitely wanted to start dealing with his break zone a little bit. Because I saw the 2 Kusiths. I was like, nope. Let's start curating that break zone a little bit so those Kusiths don't become too problematic.
Maybe that's also one of the reason he didn't play Reagan, because you start removing his break zone, so he doesn't have the 4 different colors.
So first I started off with making sure I got the haste, and then went for the Amaterasus. But yeah, I didn't know he had Reagan at all, so I didn't plan for dealing with Reagan during the match. Because he never got to play it in our game at all.
And that's the free wall.
So this is the first the first major turning point, where the situation of control has gone back to him. And even more so now, I'm feeling a bit... Oh, Sascha misplayed there. He forgot to do the Faris search.
Oh yeah.
Off 3 damage. So I X-burst into 7 wall, which was probably the luckiest thing I've ever done in my life. And you're gonna find out why in a moment, because what 7 wall top decks this time single-handedly is the most perfect kind of top deck I could have asked for. Because a 10k body and Faris that pings off damage is really problematic.
Yep. Because there's always 7k damage, and wall is another 5k. Okay, let's see what you have.
So I almost bricked my pants here, except the Onion Knight of Faris is an absolutely insane pair. Because Onion Knight will either bounce a target or break a target that has taken damage this turn. And the break effect does not matter for the cost. So Faris comes in and deals 1,000, and you stack it that Faris shoots the 1,000 damage first, and then Onion Knight can break. He's also a Warrior of Light, and I now have 3 Warriors of Light on the field. So I'm shooting 10,000 damage and breaking something. Except I realize, while I'm about to do that, is if I ping any damage whatsoever before getting rid of Faris, I'm going to lose my forwards, so I have no choice but to get Faris off first.
Yep, you have to get rid of it first.
Which reduces my options a little bit. So I don't allow any damage to reach Faris. So I instead choose to bounce the Faris and then shoot 10,000 at Warrior of Light.
But unfortunately, he has another one in his hand.
He does indeed have another one in his hand, and it's going to be the first thing that comes down, and I'm like, God damn it.
I think he's now debating for Reagan, but then saw his break, so was like, no, that's a better play.
You gotta ask for a lot of crazy luck to play against one of the luckiest men on the planet. And boy did I pray.
Well, yeah, you have no cards in hand, while your opponent has like, how much?
Exactly
6? 7?
But if you think that's where it ends and I'm just gonna fall from here, no, that's unfortunately not what happens either. The situation is gonna bounce back and forth one more time in this match.
Well, so it was pretty much a roller coaster, the game.
Oh, it absolutely was. I thought I was done for at this point, but it turns out that's not what's gonna
Exactly,
happen.
that's what I would think so too. Like, now, with that much hand, he has a Faris in his hand, that's information that you know.
So now he's played the Tyro. He has to be careful playing a Faris. And I can understand why he hasn't done so. Because if he plays a Faris onto my Faris, his board is gone even if mine is gone. I will always take his board with me. Because every time he pings against the Warrior of Light, I will also ping back against the Warrior of Light, and it will keep going. Of course, he then has to target my Faris exclusively first, but...
Oh, now he's gonna activate his entire backup.
Gilgamesh, man. Gilgamesh. Gets his Enkidu. And rightfully tries to get rid of my Faris.
And after this play, he still has like 4 cards in hand.
That's it. 4-wall at this point is fully established, completely efficient, and I'm running out of steam fast. At the end of the day, it's control versus aggro, and aggro... I lost my aggro point when Chantotto hit first.
Well, yeah, patience pays off, I guess.
So the Gilgamesh play was all I had.
One was removed, one is in the damage. This is your last one, so you only have max 6
I definitely
color.
only have the 6 colors. And if I attacked with my 7 wall, he'd let it through just to make sure that it isn't destroyed. However,
Yep.
he didn't need
Miss
to worry
Dragon
about that.
says no.
Dire situation, only even more dire than it was.
Making sure his colors.
Giving his plus 2k buff to the board and drawing a card as well.
Zidane.
Which was useless sim at the time because, of course, now I don't have any handguards. He just wanted the extra body. Now that's gonna hurt. That's gonna be 9,000. 10,000 in total on something.
Well, at this point, it doesn't really matter which one, Gilgamesh or Warrior of Light.
I'll never quite.
Now he remembered.
Yeah, he remembered in the end. At least with this trigger. I'll never be quite 100% certain why he didn't get rid of 7 walls straight up. Okay, he got rid of it in the end.
Yep.
How does one get out of this situation, one might wonder? So Onion Knight has a nice little effect. 1 CP and I can just bring another one straight out onto the board.
And that was a damaged one. Break it. And since they're all damaged,
Gilgamesh can't be broken with effects. So Gilgamesh can't be targeted that way.
well, it's nice that Ferris
Because
a little bit.
I did choose Gilgamesh, and then Sascha reminded me that that's not possible, so I changed target appropriately. So that's damage number 6. I think this is the moment I need to see the most. So I'm not sure if we resolved this completely correct. because it got a bit silly.
So wait, now you're doing the Ferris 6K?
Yeah, so I got to target something that's, of course, 7,000 max, because that's just the logical way to deal with it. But then I remembered his arc. Well, I think we both may have forgotten his arc is plus 2k. Oh wait, no, is that even the case? Because he lost Warrior of Light? Is that enough? I'm not sure if arc's active anymore.
Wait, arc has a requirement?
It does, it does. So here we're trying to establish how many pings are about to go off, because a lot of Warrior Lights are getting hit by things. And ultimately, we resolved it that it was enough pings that I could take his board out and then my board as well. And then finally, the final Onion Knight bounced the Gilgamesh back to hand. So once again, the situation swung back.
And we start with a clean sheet again. Just
But
the opponent
Sascha
has
absolutely...
hand.
Yeah, he still has everything. He still has everything. The Gilgamesh could only be bounced, it couldn't be broken, so he got the Enkidu. I knew that was going to happen either way, and there was... At this point, my steam was done. My boat was cooked.
And that's game.
That's absolutely game. And then there's him telling me about the Reagan he's had in his hand the whole game. And then I'd forgotten that I had limit break cards I could have used at some point.